Hey, everybody. What's up? It's AG the Dad. Thank you for tuning in to Shit Talking Sundays. Every day we'll be here at 6 p.m. not every day, but on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I'm going to bring on a close friend of mine who is suffering from MS, and she's going to share her journey with you so that you can maybe it'll help you to you know, handle MS a little bit easier. Um, Now, also keep in mind that uh, neither I or her are medical doctors, and this is just her journey. If you have any medical issues, you should consult your healthcare provider or physician and ask him for medical advice. If you're also suffering from an emergency, dial 911. But um, without further ado, this is an MS warrior, and she's going to tell you her story in the light of a warrior. What's up? What's
Hey,
up? What's up? How you
hey,
doing?
hey, hey, AG, doing good, doing good. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We're here with the MS warrior. Um,
That's me.
so we haven't talked to you in about a week.
Yes,
What what was your week like?
busy, and suffering today with bad pains in my back. As we warriors, um, probably 9 out of 10 of us have lesions in our spine and in our neck, so that you could imagine what creates the pain and stuff like that. So yeah, but for the week, um, doing what I need to do to maintain every day to have a fuller life daily. I had some blood work today done, checking my
Mhm.
thyroid. I have my neck is a little big on one side. My doctor may think that I may have goiter, thyroid issue or whatever, and it's always good to check and be sure. Having a lot of palpitations and wanted to make sure, rule out medications and stuff like that because as you warriors know, we are on some of the DMTs that can cause a lot of side effects. Heart palpitations can raise your liver levels, so on and so on and so on. So, I'm just checking in with my wellness to make sure, I address those things early on before they get out of control and make sure that it's not my medications that I take that's causing my thyroid to act up, the heart palpitations, and that kind of thing. Let me mention real quick. I heard AG, the dad, say as soon as he was doing the intro, yes, I am not a doctor. I don't claim to be. Um, what I share with you is my experiences and some of the research that I've done that I live by that I know is what I suffer from, and I could speak on it or just giving different advice on what works for me, as far as when it comes down to medications and stuff like that. Or even if you're not feeling well, I will never, ever tell you, take what I take because it makes me feel better. No, that's not the case. You and I, we don't have the same um, things in our body that I can handle. You may not be able to handle. For instance, my first day taking Kesimpta, um, within 6 hours, I was waking in my sleep and I was shivering. I had a fever. I had the chills. I did not feel well at all, and I was wakened by this, and I was scared. And I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh my God, is this medicine killing me? What is it doing?" Well, come to find out, in which I had previously read in my research why I chose the medication at that time, that's a side effect. So I hurried up and called my doctor that got back to me in the morning, and he said, I don't want you taking this medication at night because
Hmm.
of the side effects. If you're asleep, you have a harder time deciphering, of course, you don't know what's going on in your sleep, and you may be, awakened to something that possibly you could have handled better, or got to, if you had to call 911, it'll be a quicker response if you're awake and knowing what's going on with your body. So um, he said, let I'm going to put on Allegra and Tylenol an hour to two before you do your injection. That should calm and interact the side effects.
So
So
what is that for, like allergies? You're taking the Allegra and stuff like that?
yes, it stops the side effects from the Kesimpta. So it
Well,
stopped the chills.
it helped you. It stopped your
It helped
symptoms.
me, right?
Yeah, let's make sure that
Yes.
remember, we're not doing
Yeah.
any. This
No.
is we're not diagnosing. We're not.
Yeah. No.
We're
No.
not
No.
we're not doing any of that. We're
No.
just telling you
What
her
works for
journey.
me, right?
What has worked for
So,
you?
but with that, um, on my YouTube channel, a lot of warriors, have said, I feel real sick. They have the same experience as me. So I've always had to tell them, look, I'm not a doctor. You need to speak to your doctor. This is what my doctor told me to do. Ask your doctor. Help yourself by talking to your doctor. I have passed off the information, but still claiming not to be their doctor.
Hmm.
This is solely what works for me.
Right,
So
right.
yes, so by all means, if you're not feeling well, and with other groups as well, I've seen it on other multiple sclerosis awareness groups. People do because they look for answers, so
Hmm.
I've even seen people on other sites, and I've verbally said, please don't take their advice. Call your physician ASAP. Nobody is a doctor on those sites that can tell you, hey, oh yeah, I know what you're suffering from, let me tell you to go drink this tea, and or go buy this over the counter. No.
Right.
No, it's solely what works for me. So I would never give you warriors medical advice. Always
Well,
contact your medical team.
I know you. When we were talking, um, we wanted to touch bases a little bit today about um symptoms, right? You wanted
Yes.
to tell people what symptoms to look out for if you start experiencing some of these. Maybe it might be time to reach out to your doctor and ask them if
Right.
if something is going on. Like I said, we're not doctors, we're just giving
No.
you her journey. But
Yes. Definitely, because there's a wide spectrum of symptoms. Um, it can be from the slightest of mispronunciation in your words, and we all mispronounce words, one time or another, and if you see that being a pattern, you know that can be something too with MS. Um, your eyes, optic neuritis, if your eyes start giving you problems, or your eye, um, starts to act like it's getting infected, or it's irritated. That happened to me about maybe 6, 7 years ago. I woke up one day and my eye was almost shut, and I was like, "Oh my God, I got some type of infection." My eye, it was crazy, and it hurt on the inside. I
so
wasn't.
can
Go
you
ahead.
mistake it for like what are those styes?
Styes. You know the difference between optic neuritis and a sty. A sty gives you that little bump, and then you kind of oozy, you're sore like that. This is a
Hmm.
whole different feeling. You
Okay.
actually, your eyeball hurts, and it's because the nerves that control your eye behind it, it's
Hmm.
damaged from, or you're having an MS attack, the nerves for your
Okay.
eye.
Okay.
Yeah. And we warriors can have vision problems. You could have, you know, that whole optic neuritis is vision. You could see double. You could have uh, tunnel vision. You can
Mm.
see dots. That really aren't there on your table, but that's what you're seeing. Through your eye, your lens. Let's call it a lens.
Right.
So yes, that's Seeing an ophthalmologist and taking care of your eye care is vital, is very vital, because we suffer from, that's one of the first things. If you walk into an ER, or at least my experience, every time I walk into the ER on a relapse, the first thing that doctor asked me, can you see me? How many fingers am I holding up? Do you see the color over there on that wall? That's because if you say no and I'm having problems seeing, they want to administer you with that medication that they treat you with ASAP, because that will prevent you from going blind. That'll prevent you from losing your vision. A lot of times, from what I've read, you can lose your vision somewhat
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get that attack under control, just as the rest of your body. You
Mm-hmm.
may not gain that eyesight back, or you may not come back to that full vision, whatever vision at that time you had, you may not come back to that.
That
And
might be
that's
where it's at.
right. So
Wow.
it's vital. It's vital about the eyes, not to take away from the rest of the body. But if you are starting to notice with your eye, call your eye doctor. Get a test, especially if you're having pain and something like that. Probably, it, with anyone, they would reach out to their doctor right away and be like, "Man, my eye is hurting and I'm not seeing too good." So optic
Okay.
neuritis is a high um, symptom. A lot
Right.
of people, but in my case, no, I
You know,
haven't.
I think anybody, if you have a experiencing some type of eye issue that is not normal, you should definitely go seek medical attention.
Yes,
Whether or not it's an emergency or not is something that only you know, and and I would like to say your body, and if it really feels
right.
abnormal, don't be afraid to go to the doctor, or at
Mm-mm,
least call a medical advice nurse.
right.
Consult your insurance if you have insurance. If
Hmm.
not, I'm sure that there are places you can go, like the Department of Human Services, and they might be able to help you with getting some type of medical insurance so that
Definitely.
you can deal with this. Um,
Definitely. For years, before I was diagnosed, before I had any relapse or anything, I noticed I was nauseous all the time. And I've never been on medications or anything. I don't suffer from high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I've never been on any kind of medications in my life
hmm,
until being diagnosed with MS. But I also I would get waves of nauseousness, like I just for no
hmm,
reason just want to vomit. I'd have the stomach ache and but it wouldn't be like after I ate or indigestion or anything. It was just waves for quite some time, a few years was hitting me off
hmm,
and on. Well, uh, being nauseous with MS, it affects your stomach. And
hmm,
a lot of times I was like, man, did I eat something that didn't feel too good and stuff like that, and I would get little waves of not feeling good. And me and my best friend Stephanie, hopefully she's watching. She said she was going to be on tonight. Steph, hey, if you're out there, her and
shameless plug. Shameless plug. Shout out
that's
to
our
your
bestie.
friend. Shout out to your
Yes,
friend. From Shit Talking Sundays, I'm glad you're tuning in. And
yeah,
anybody else out there, please share,
yes,
share. Hit the like button. Please subscribe.
yes,
Please tell somebody, because you know
yeah,
the reason why I'm doing this podcast for Shit Talking Sundays, and I actually agreed to bring the MS Warrior on, is because I want to help people to think outside the box, maybe think a little deeper on what you're dealing with, and maybe think of another way that maybe you can possibly deal with what you're going through. So today we're just basically talking about symptoms that the MS Warrior has experienced in her experience dealing with MS. So
exactly.
what other ones? But so you said nauseous, uh, eyesight issues.
Yes.
Um,
Stumbling. Ah, there goes. Yep, I
Stumble.
see Audrey on there too. Sorry, I got to give shout outs to my girls.
Oh.
Audrey, Stephanie, see you guys. Okay, but yes, and you know what was a big one for me, AG, for years before I was diagnosed? If a penny, I'm talking a penny, dropped on my foot, oh, it felt like a brick. I would have to rub it, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, that hurts so bad." So my skin became sensitive to the touch,
Mm,
really, really super sensitive. Now, the day that, well, two weeks prior, I had a burning sensation from here to here, just across my
mm,
arm a little bit, to where, I have, maybe a lot of other people have, like, just for no reason your skin hurts when you touch it, like
mm-hmm,
sore, like if you scraped it on something and it left, a little soreness. Well, I
mm-hmm,
had that 2 weeks prior to the boom, the big relapse, the first one.
mm,
So you start to feel changes in the feelings, of course. You can be clumsy. I started dropping stuff with my left hand over
mm.
the years. But when you feel healthy, and Jason, what up? I'm glad you made it. What's up? I'm
You
so
are
glad
so
you're
funny.
here. So,
Stay focused. Stay with me here, girl. Stay with me.
okay. So, hey, everybody. Whoop, whoop. So,
Oh, that's funny.
but
I guess you know
so,
what? Hold on. I guess
okay.
you know what? This is Shit Talking Sundays, where every day is Shit Talking Sundays. So there's nothing wrong with having a little humor.
Right.
Everybody that's out there that's tuning in, please comment in the chat section. We would love to hear if you have something
Yeah.
to say. If you have any questions,
Questions.
we will
Yeah.
definitely try to answer them.
Yeah.
If you have a friend, family member, or personally suffering from multiple sclerosis, please feel
Share.
free to share your experience here, because we also want to know a different way of looking at things. I personally am not diagnosed with MS or anything like that, but I do want to help other people um, get some education about it.
Right. Education is key to any
Knowledge is key.
ailment. Yeah, any ailment that you may have, more so um, lifelong ailment. This MS, as you guys know, is incurable at today's day and age with technology. We're getting closer and closer. I do reads all the time. We're getting closer, even more so now. I've done a research read since this COVID, and with the injections that, no, excuse me, not injections, vaccines, they are coming up with one that can reverse some MS damage. So wouldn't that be wonderful? I'll be the first one in line. I'll be like, oh, here's my ticket. Take me. I got the golden ticket. I'll be the first one there. But
So you would be down to
yeah,
even if it was just experimental, you'd be down to take the experiment.
yes.
So with that being said, right? Because right now we're in a unique time in our lives and in
Right.
the world where people are dealing with the vaccine
Yes,
for
Jason.
COVID. Now,
Right.
are because there's so many people out there talking about the vaccine, and there's a lot of people that are scared to take it. They don't want to be the guinea pig because they feel like we haven't had 10 years of research.
Of
What's going to
research.
happen to everybody 10, 15, 20 years from now after they have it? You don't have a concern about that if you were to take a MS experimental drug?
You know, no. If you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have said, "Oh, heck no," and da 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 da. No, no, no. There comes a point, a time in your life with MS, you start to think different. You know, um, you
Right,
say, "I have one option: let MS beat me, or I'm gonna beat the shit out of MS."
right, right.
And that's where. my whole script, flip the script came to is, if I don't take care of me and I don't do something about this for me, I, there's no other alternative, you know?
Right.
So, with being on the medications that I have been on, I've been on four.
Okay.
Kesimpta now is the fourth one. And it's done the best for me that any other med has done thus far. I think about 9, 10 months in. Um, so knowing what I know now of seeing and talking to my warriors on multiple sites across um, social platforms,
Hmm.
it's it's gonna take us warriors to make that change, to make the difference for a different outcome.
Hmm.
I could say and talk and share my experiences and all that. That's all fine, but when I shut the computer down tonight, I still have a mess when I walk and go, go do what I
Yeah.
do, get
Your
ready
day
for
to
bed or
day.
whatever. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and this be gone. So if I can change something for the rest of my life with MS, yeah, I'm doing it already by
Hmm.
using the DMTs, which that is disease modifying treatment. I'm already doing that. You know,
Okay.
I I'm already doing that. I didn't know how this medicine or any of the past three medications were going to do for me and my body. You know what I mean? Only
Right.
you would know. And I'll tell everybody right now on the live. My family's on here. I've got my warriors right here. Um, take take 10 minutes out of your day this coming weekend. Research Kesimpta, research Abagio. Just do a quick read. Then you'll see what I have to go through on choosing, or us warriors go through on choosing a medication to be treated to prolong a physical part of our life, you
Hmm.
know, a mental, our brain, we lose, MS warriors lose brain mass. It affects us brain, neck, spine, everything, hands, feet, toes, sexual dysfunction, everything. So
Hmm.
when you have to choose a medication to say, do I want to risk my heart by this medication may give me heart damage within 6 months? There's a lot of medications you can only be on for a year because of the damage that it
Hmm.
can do to you.
Okay.
So you know, it's a lot. You would be like, oh my God, what if now I know what this warrior goes through choosing a medication. I researched medication months before I chose because I
Mm.
had to choose the right one, and I had to say, okay, if this medicine was to cause my liver failure,
Hmm.
or you know, I have to live with my decision, nobody
Right.
else's. So research is key. Is it frightening? Yes, but when you come to the term of saying, okay, you pick the less of the evil, so
Hmm.
to speak, then you rock with that. So as long as I'm feeling how I'm feeling with this medication, I'm going to try and get up every day and live life. I'm not going to
Right.
let life live me. It's too
Right.
short, and it. That's just what we deal with. If you don't mind, AG, I'm gonna read this
Go
comment real
ahead.
quick. Jason says, "I'll take the fatigue and back muscle pain. Just get me back to being able to walk straight." Yeah, Jason. Yeah, um, I feel for you because I've been there. I lost my legs on a relapse for 4 days,
Hmm.
and at in the hospital where I was admitted, they had to come with the walker, and I had to prove, and get back up on it. I had physical therapy. I've had speech therapy. They had to make me eat at the hospital and check to make sure I could swallow. So if anybody doesn't know that, listening right now, commenting, I know because I've experienced that. It's hard to walk. Um, the fatigue will kick you down. Yeah, the fatigue will kick you down. But what I have noticed, Jason, I don't know if you've noticed the Kesimpta. Out of the four meds that I've been on, the Kesimpta has calmed down my fatigue. I'm able to do more than I was before ever. The fatigue hurt me. It hurt my upper body. Like I was so exhausted that I was going to pass out and vomit. It stopped me from going places because I was afraid that if I felt too sick, I wouldn't be able to lay down, you
Hmm.
know? So there's a lot to think about. You're like, oh, what if my left leg doesn't work right? I stumble. My left leg isn't strong. I walk a little bit with a limp too because that muscle tone in that left leg, as we all know, a lot of warriors suffer on our left side. You know, so I have it. I have a little bit of it all. You know, all over through my body. My spine, and as I'm sitting here talking, but I'm committed. You know, we just started the podcast. I want to reach others, and my back is killing me right now. It's been hurting all day. I got up feeling, like $1 million, but 3 hours into it, I'm hurting.
Well,
You know,
that was part of our agreement that I wanted the raw, real, every day. This is your
yeah,
journey. So if your journey at this time of the day at 6 p.m. every Tuesday, if you're feeling good, bad, or indifferent, we want to see at least 1 hour of your life of MS while you talk about it. So if you are
yeah,
suffering from it, we definitely want to not necessarily want to experience it. We just want to see and know what you're going through so that if others are going through the same thing, they
yeah.
can understand it a little bit better because
Right. Tap in,
yeah, tap
support.
in.
Yeah, tap in,
um
support.
yeah.
There's Jason, and I hope that you said that you have noticed a change after starting symptom. I hope that's in the positive. Woohoo! Kudos, because that's everything. That's what we pray for in a DMT, is for that medication to make change. A lot of
Mhm.
warriors, they trial and error. I've been through that. Like I said, this is my fourth medication. Let me try and answer some questions real quick. I see Dree Star or progressive with time having this disease. Ask me again because I'm not quite getting that question real quick, Dree Star. But and just let me, since she said progressive, there's four types of and that's a thing too with MS. I sometimes can't get my words and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys can relate, but there are four different types of MS. I have remitting relapsing MS. There's progressive MS, primary, secondary MS. So, from what I've researched, what my neurologist and what my all my physicians have said, and what other words have said, this is a progressive disease, but the
Mhm.
medications we take stop are supposed to stop the progression. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful to stop the progression. We are left every day, even though that progression has stopped. As of, let's see, April, May, June, July, there was no new lesions. So that means that the Kesimpta is working, because 6 months prior to that, I had new lesions. So yes, we pray that the medicine works and stops that progression, because it doesn't take away our symptoms that we had. That's
Mm.
already damage done, you know, to those areas and stuff. And when you do have a relapse, it kicks those symptoms up, your old symptoms that you've already been having. and it may give you some new ones. Those new ones for me went away. Yes, I have had new symptoms, even with the new lesion in my brain.
Mhm.
I had new symptoms at that time of the attack, but once that medicine, the Solumedrol I was treated with, calmed it down, and those new symptoms went away. Thank God I came back to baseline. I always talk about baseline, and that's what we hope for too. And I'm
Mm.
sure the Warriors, but I know there's some Warriors tonight watching that don't have MS, with the questions. And I don't know, AG, um, I can't talk and be savvy on the computer, but there's some questions maybe that have gotten past me. I see. Jason, yeah, remitting, relapsing MS. And those of you who don't know what remitting, relapsing MS is, it's where you have bouts of flares, relapses that come and go, and you could come back to baseline. There's a chance that you can come back to baseline, a good percentage. So there's the other types of MS to where you have your ailment, say in a progressive MS, you're stricken with those symptoms daily, daily. They don't get better. They don't
Mhm.
get better. They stay right there. Say if you having problems, walking with your left side, right side, or lifting your right arm. A lot of warriors who have that type of MS are stricken every day. Your symptoms don't go away; they stay there.
Wow.
So right. So um, it's a lot. So the um, thing with the uh, feeling in your legs change. A lot of warriors deal with drop foot.
Drop foot.
Um,
What is that?
the strength. Drop foot, when you're walking, you have that muscle control lifting your leg the same height as the other one, and you put it down, smooth motion, as we're taught to walk when we're little itty bitty tykes. So if you lift your leg up, it's going to drop to the ground like as if you have no muscle control over your foot.
I know what
You
you're
know,
talking
like
about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, like when
Okay.
it kind of slaps the ground, that
Mhm.
type of thing.
Right.
That comes with MS, you know. So the symptoms are so widespread. The MS hug, geez, we all as warriors, all have felt the MS hug. Um, for me, the MS hug wakes me every night in my sleep. Matter of fact, two
Mm.
nights ago, that's probably maybe why my back is hurting now. And it feels like a band around here. I'll try and stand up and show you. Broad line, about 3 fingers, all the way around. You feel like you're being squeezed in a
Mm.
vice. It takes your breath away. You get warm. You don't know if you're having a heart attack. It wakes me up out of my sleep, and it's not a stabbing pain for me. It's not a jabbing pain. It's the pressure pain, as if you feel like if you're getting squeezed. Have you guys been
Mhm.
hugged by somebody too tight? You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
they're just
Mhm.
my brother used to hug me like that and just squeeze me, like, bro, I can't breathe,
Mhm.
and it feels like that. And it's almost like a burning, tingly sensation. My skin gets clammy right
Mm.
before that happens, and it only happens at night when I sleep. It doesn't happen during the daytime, only at
Hmm.
night. I don't know if any of my other warriors, just experience that at night. I don't know if it's just it's weird, and it's very very uncomfortable. And one of my warriors on my YouTube channel, um, put something on the channel the other day talking about, does do any of the warriors experience it like this? And man, the way that she was describing it, I felt really bad. I can
Hmm.
relate, but hers was, I would say, a lot worse than mine. And so yes, I do suffer from that. Um, Incontinence, and I'm going to keep it raw and out there. I just had a doctor's appointment today to televisit. They're putting me on medication to do some control to my bladder
Hmm.
MS causes a lot of incontinence. I don't have any problem, in the number two area or anything like that. Or I know when I have to tinkle. But
We're all grown up here, and the fact that
yeah.
my name is Shit Talking Sundays, you can say, hey, if I gotta take a shit, I ain't got no problem because every day is Shit Talking Sundays. On a more serious note, real quick, um, some of the things that you've said, about symptoms and things that you feel, and I know you had said something about you if you dropped a penny on your foot, it was so painful.
Oh my God,
Um,
I hurt. I hurt
Everybody
so
out
bad.
there, I want you to understand, um, until you experience something that you've never experienced before, you should not um, discount what somebody is saying to you about something, because just like some of the things that this warrior is saying, um, when I'm still going through a concussion, and um, some of the experiences that I even experienced with my concussion were kind of unbelievable. If I told somebody what I experienced, they would probably think I was crazy or it wasn't true. So until you experience a concussion,
Right.
you can't judge somebody. So I say that to say that unless
You never
you
know.
have MS or experienced some MS symptoms or things, you really don't know. So please don't discount what somebody's saying. And also on the flip side of that, if you are having problems, don't be afraid to let somebody know,
Right.
because some of y'all that I've seen that have MS, I would never even know.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being weak sometimes. If somebody truly loves you, I feel that they would, I'm not going to,
Understand.
they definitely would understand. They would
Understand.
embrace your situation and try to
Right.
be more
Support.
compassionate about it and
Right.
support. I've had some friends that go through it, and maybe I wasn't as compassionate about their situation as maybe I probably should have been. But on the flip side of that, um, you shouldn't portray yourself as super strong when you're weak ish in front of your friends, because your true friends are going to
Gonna accept you.
understand. So,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
don't try to be something you're not, so that when you are out and about, you're not mistreated.
Yeah. And
You
you know what? Um, you can and I dealt with this and battled with this before I got an electric scooter. My doctor told me one time, he was like, "I think you need, a wheelchair now." And I said, "Are you crazy? Really?" And I was
hmm
thinking my age. No,
Right.
and thinking, I'm not going to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? That's my thought.
Right.
But as my each time I had a relapse and then lost my legs, and then my son bought me the scooter and stuff, I was still kind of hesitant. But I was like, you know what? I can still get up and stand and still do things. I have nothing to be shamed of, because the closest people to me don't care
Right.
if I'm in a wheelchair or not. They're not
Right.
afraid to push me. They're not embarrassed.
Right.
And a lot of people on these multiple sclerosis awareness groups that I belong to, they don't have that support. And I just see Jason posted too. He says, "I've worked all my life easy and hard factor work because of my fatigue. Someone called me lazy." I see that, and it burns me up. I see that constantly. That people have the audacity to do that because they never know your story. Multiple sclerosis isn't an invisible disease. If you see me in the store, in whatever, if I'm not in my chair cruising or whatever, you're not going to know that I'm suffering daily.
hmm
You don't know at night. Sorry.
Take your time. It's all good. You know.
They
Emma,
they just
yeah,
they don't know what I pray about before I go to bed and when I wake up, you know?
Right.
So you never, and I've done it throughout my life. You know what I mean? I've looked at people that looked okay, but they riding in them scooters and stuff. Of course, this is when I was younger. Um, I wonder what's wrong with them. They don't look sick. You know what I mean? Why are they parking in handicap? They walked, got up out of their car and walked in the store. Well, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Guess what I'm doing? I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
So you never, and I see people look at me, AG. I do. I see people look at me like she don't look old enough to be in there. You know, they look me up and down. Some people will, ride past me. They'll be on their scooter and give me the thumbs up. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Mm-hmm. Right.
um, with my personality with being now on the scooter, it's nothing but positive. Nothing but positive. If it's gonna help me get some quality of life back, and it has. It has,
Right.
because I was missing out on going shopping. I was missing out on everything because I walk and stand up. I was
Right.
missing out on a lot of stuff. Star, is there a cure for this? No, there is not. There's a lot of work being done right now, and they're getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. If not in my lifetime for a cure, hopefully in the next 15, not even that, but if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, hopefully, I would say my generation right now of warriors, we can help change that, make a difference for our younger generation of warriors that are suffering, that are younger, that can change the course of MS.
Mm-hmm.
Babies, young kids have MS. It's that you're not, there's no
No one's
age
immune.
limit. No one's
Yep.
immune. Women are more prone to have it than men. And research study shows that part part of the Northern American, where it's hotter, people tend to have MS.
Hmm.
And that's just in studies that I've
Right.
read. More so women are more prone than men having MS. So um,
Can you catch it? Can is it something you catch, or is it something you just, I guess, for lack of a better word, develop?
you do develop it. You do
And
develop,
at any age, any time.
yeah. From what I know, what I've been told from my doctors and stuff, there's been one part of my life where I've had the flu, cold, a virus, and
Mhm.
your immune system kicks into high gear and fights that all off. Well, when that virus is gone, of course, then your immune system goes back into basically like a dormant stage.
Mhm.
Well, for warriors, ours didn't. They stayed awake, and now it's attacking our own body. And of course, over time, that attack is eating away at what is called the myelin sheath that covers our nerves throughout our whole body. And that leaves it exposed. And that's where the missed signals start to misfire in, hey, I want to say flabbergasted right now. You know what I'm saying? And then you flabber blah blah blah. You know,
Right. Right.
so whatever parts of the body that has damaged, you'll have problems working that hand, foot, tongue, swallowing. Your muscles and stuff. Just as I'm sitting here, my whole left side is feels like it's hanging down to the ground because of the weakness. This right side, of course, is stronger. I've never been really too affected on my right side. It's always been my left.
Right.
Even when I get tired or have had a full day, like right now, it's 6:45. My body is not used to being up now at 7 and doing the podcast and stuff like that. So it's I feel it in my body that my body is working a little overtime,
Hmm.
right now. So my existing symptoms get a little heightened when I'm pushing them to keep going, you
Right,
know?
right, right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, people, it's definitely, something that people look at, and it just goes over their head. When you were talking about driving in the cart, I know people look at the people that are, a little overweight, and they're riding around in the carts. People, oh, why don't you need to walk? The last thing you need to do is be rolling around in the scooter. But what
Right.
people don't understand is that maybe there's a health
Issue.
concern and health
Hmm.
issue that made them um be in the situation that they're at. So
Need
people
that.
need to be a little bit more compassionate. That's the
Yeah.
problem with people. There's not enough compassion. But
Right.
what other symptoms besides what we've talked about so far?
Your back, of course. Prior to being diagnosed, having the relapse that gave me a diagnosis, I kept telling my honey, I know, I kept telling him, there's a certain spot right back here, right off my spine. And it was a slight pain, but it was there for a very long time, off and on. Nothing to, you know, wave a flag at or anything. But I
Yeah,
kept
raise red
saying,
flags.
right, I kept saying, watch, something's wrong back there. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And my honey believes in don't claim anything, don't yourself, and don't say that,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I kept saying, but that there's a feeling back there. And well, lo and behold, I have damage down my spine from the lesions, So I get a lot of back pain, you know, and a lot of my warriors out there too, their back, our backs, you figure even if you don't have an ailment, if you've been hurt exercising, AG, yeah, you were
Hmm.
at the gym when your incident happened. You
Right,
could
right,
have
right.
lifted a box wrong in your garage or whatever, and you know how you feel the pain that you can endure by pulling a muscle, a
Hmm.
hamstring, or something like that. For us, that nerve issue doesn't go away. Our disease affects our nerves 24/7, even in our sleep. My
Hmm.
leg falls asleep all the time for no reason. It's just asleep. And then I'm like, oh my God, I can't walk. I have to grab the couch. And then, I have to wait till it subsides because I'm moving it, I'm jerking it, I'm tapping it on the ground, like you do if your foot falls asleep. This is a
Right.
different kind of fall asleep. This is a nerve thing that gets agitated or irritated from within.
Do
And
you ever
we,
feel short of breath, like you're not getting enough oxygen?
yes, all the
You know,
time.
so check this out.
Yes.
Um, I went to the doctor the other day for a follow up visit for my concussion that I'm going through, and I was telling him that I still have this cough that I've been having for I don't know, like 6 months or so, and
Mm.
he said, "Well, let me give you this inhaler." So I tried an inhaler, and that night, um, because it opened up my lungs a little bit more and I was able to breathe a little bit better,
Hmm.
um, I woke up the next day not having as severe symptoms as I did before. I felt a little bit like some of the tingling in my fingers were gone because I was
Oh,
getting more oxygen. So,
more
what
oxygen.
with that being said, I'm wondering if on MS, if your doctor gave you some more, maybe prescribed you oxygen for you to wear under your nose and give you more oxygen, will by oxidating, maybe your bloodstream. Like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just
Right.
wondering if they were to do that, would that help? Because I know that me being able to breathe a little bit better helped me. And
Helped you. Yeah.
when you get into to natural medication and natural healing, breathing, just you'll be surprised what breathing will do. I mean, because
The
just
difference.
breathing a certain way can lower your stress level, your blood pressure, all that. So there maybe
Yeah,
there is some truth in the oxidating,
right. It
oxygenating
is.
your body.
It is because when you breathe in deeply, that's getting more oxygen to your brain and all that
Right.
stuff. Um, I have. I'm not on oxygen at all. I haven't been this whole 5 years. I want to be on oxygen. I want to have it at home for those times where I can't breathe. It's
Hmm.
not, let me rephrase that. I have a hard time. I get out of breath by talking. I get
Right.
out of breath easily by talking. Certain days when I don't feel right, like my symptoms are a little bit shaken up, I notice it affects my breathing. That I'm more short of breath to walk from my bedroom to the bathroom, or I may go into my laundry room and grab something. It's always small, but anyway, by the time I grab, let me just say the bucket. By the time I grab the bucket and make it back to the side of the house, I'm out of breath. I have to sit down, and I'm like, so there's little breathing techniques that I do sometimes. Even talking right now on the podcast, I get out of breath. If I talk too fast, too long,
Hmm.
I'm out of breath. That was another issue before my diagnosis, but I didn't know. I didn't know. MS wasn't talked about. And of course, I used to smoke cigarettes. So, I would tell my doctor, and I used to tell my doctor, my legs felt super duper heavy, super duper heavy.
Hmm.
Oh, your age, you're starting menopause. And I went to the doctor and complained about these things. Nobody said, hey, that's MS. Let's
Hmm.
check you. Da, 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 da. You know, so certain things, those are just symptoms that led up to my life today. Now, let me kind of
Hmm.
backtrack on that oxygen thing. I have had oxygen AG while I was in the hospital. Yes, I have. Um, that was
Did you notice a difference? You feel like you were felt
the
better?
yes, and of course at that time, because when you're on a relapse and your oxygen, the only way they give you oxygen because it's a drug. Whether y'all don't know that, but oxygen is a drug. So they just don't offer you oxygen just because you're on a relapse. No, why they gave me oxygen is because my levels dropped too low. So I had to get the oxygen to bring my heart rate and my oxygen back to me. They've had to wake me up a few times in the hospital to give me oxygen.
That's crazy about the statement you just made, where you said oxygen is a drug.
It is.
Think about that. We breathe it normally, and you're saying that they have to, it's crazy that they have to prescribe you oxygen.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
crazy. Just, I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
right. It's
Okay.
something that we just right now we're sitting and breathing, but the way that it's made and given to you,
Mm-hmm.
what it does for you, it's a drug. But AG, if you didn't know, it's gases. Okay,
Right.
so you know when children, there's been children that's passed away from crib death and stuff like that. Um, and a lot of that is caused because the babies can't get enough fresh air into their wherever they're sleeping situation. They say when the blankets are kind of high up on the baby, like this, where they're sleeping, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want that. Put that blanket down and tuck them so it doesn't go up and they can't raise it, is because while they're sleeping, they're breathing. That gas is going just a
Right.
little bit away from them into their covers. And then when they inhale, they're breathing that gas back in again. And
Right. Right. Right.
if we get too much of that gas, that causes brain damage. It causes a lot. So oxygen can be very dangerous. Very, very
Right.
dangerous. Very dangerous. But yes, when I'm not feeling too hot, it does affect my breathing a lot, a lot, a lot. Some days is better, some days it's not. So I haven't came to that point yet or anything, thank God, to where I need oxygen,
Right.
at home or anything. When I do go to the doctors or have been, things level, I have all these tools at home. I take my own blood pressure, um, all that. I take my own sugar. I check on all those things. So when I'm not feeling too good, I always check it, and I advise you warriors too, and anyone for that matter. If you're not feeling well and you're having a hard time breathing, if you have your pressure cuff, machine and stuff at home, hey,
Hmm.
take that 4 minutes to take that blood pressure and see what your SAT levels are. Then you'll know, hey, this may prompt you. You may think about it, say, well, you know what? I better go to the ER and let them, check me out and get some oxygen and get your SATs and stuff back. You never know,
Right. Right.
unless you check yourself out. Um, and I think all warriors should have those at home, those to implement, self awareness. They're inexpensive on Amazon, um, and stuff like that. So wide variety of, oh gee, swelling is a symptom. Um, Burning sensation, tingling of your limbs, your fingers, your lips can feel greasy, and you know that they're not greasy. Anything that your nerves, you know, work on in your body, those
Hmm.
things could be affected greatly, greatly. Um, there's nothing that's not affected, by MS. There's a lot of people that have no symptoms other than they can't walk, and
Hmm.
are in a wheelchair, um, opposed to someone else that has the different type of MS, that can be 20, 25, 30 years older than that person and still walks on their own but has MS. There's,
Hmm.
so it strikes people differently. Not two cases are identical. There's warriors that are still running marathons, that they're physically active like that. you know some warriors like me, I wish I could run to the corner. You know, um, I could probably try. I'd probably come back bloody and out of breath, and you'd probably have to call an ambulance for me.
Really?
Yeah, and just, I mean, and me, AJ, you've seen me dance and get my gig on the dance floor and having a good old time.
Right.
Man, I wouldn't be able to do that. I can't even wear
Wow.
high heels. I can't even wear high heels anymore because I can't pay attention to the way I have to walk in high heels. And
Hmm.
it'll, I'm off balance. My foot sometimes catches the floor, you know, and stuff like that. I have to watch how I go down off curbs and stuff like that because, I have fallen 3 times, so um, those kind of things for we women, you know, is big just as well. I'm not going to take anything away from the men because, you know, men have a certain thing level of, hey, I'm strong. I'm the protector,
Hmm.
I'm the strength and stuff like that. So it's hard to, you know, come to terms, let alone lean on other people for the help. It's hard for people to do that. It's very hard for a lot of
Right.
people to do that, So talking about it, talking with other warriors, what works for you may work for me. What may work for me may work for you, it may not. But it's just as easy as someone on this channel could chime in and tell me, hey, I use Band 2J. I bought it from Walmart and I strengthen my legs with it. It really helps me. I might be like, oh, I'm gonna get one and try that out. You know,
Hmm.
it's just the little list of things, or just hearing someone say, we're gonna get through this and we're gonna get through it together. You chime
Hmm.
in here to every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Tell me how you're feeling. What can I do to share that you can benefit off my hour show with you, AG the Dad, on Shit Talking Sundays? Spread the word. You never know who you meet may have MS. The lady who drew my blood today,
Mhm.
her roommate has multiple sclerosis. She took down um, the information. She was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." Started a podcast and I have a channel. Oh, can I have your information and stuff like
Mhm.
that? You never know. And I'm gonna be honest. Every time I'm out anywhere and I mention I'm bringing up MS to someone, they tell me straight back, "Oh, my niece has it. Oh, my boss's daughter has it." Da, 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 da. You don't know until you bring it up. It's out there. Years ago, you didn't hear of MS. When they
Mhm.
said MS to me, I said, "Shoot, forget MS. I want to live my life." I never heard of it. But
Mm.
10 years later, it all the damage in the 10 years, I fell ill with it. So you never know what
Right.
someone is going through. You just don't know.
Right.
Dree said, "I thought I had a stroke or something. LOL, went to the ER, had an MRI, ended up having brain surgery to make sure." Oh, Jason said, "Sorry." Oh, no. Okay, wait a minute. Jason and Dree are having a conversation. Sorry, you guys. So, but Jason did talk about that he hated having oxygen when he had COVID. Yes, I know. And I would really like to do a topic, Jason, with you on the show um, and share your experience with COVID because everybody's living in the world of the pandemic with COVID, and
Right.
we warriors don't know, and we're so afraid because we have multiple sclerosis. We don't know how the vaccine's going to treat us. We don't know how we're going to deal with COVID. What's it going to be like? Um, and when I fell ill with MS and needed to take the vaccine, of course, from COVID, I mean, my brain, I couldn't sleep. I was frightened. What do I do? Oh my God, what happens if? And da da da
Mhm.
da da. What you have to basically outweigh the lesser of the evils and stuff. So
Right.
sharing your stories with you know with people who want to listen. You never know, you could change the biggest things that you didn't think that you could, that are too big for you to change alone. Strength comes in numbers. And as you guys see me right now, I don't feel too hot. I'm not going to lie. I didn't get dolled up. This is my hair from this morning. I took it out of the rubber band. Yes, I did brush my teeth and wash my face. But other than that, I'm giving it to you raw. And this is just me in the day in life of MS. You may catch me on the next show, and I'm looking more presentable and stuff. But that's because I'm able to. But
Right.
days like today, I'm not. No sugar coating over here.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your journey today with us, and giving us a few signs and symptoms that we could look out for if you're thinking you have MS. Like I've been saying, and this MS warrior has been saying, seek medical attention. We're not doctors.
Mhm.
We're not giving you medical advice. She's telling you her story and what has worked for her, and things that maybe you can reach out to your doctor and ask about. Okay.
Right,
Um,
and always um, rule things out. Not to say any of those symptoms that I have, you may have, you may not have MS at all. But if you
right.
having those kind of, compiled symptoms, don't let it go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Get some tests done. Get some tests done and let your doctors rule out things. I had to rule out a stroke.
Right.
That's how they found my MS actually. The
Hmm.
ER thought I was having a stroke, that I had a stroke before I got there. And no, it happened to be MS. So any compiled ailments, you guys, that is not normal, in our bodies as we get older too, we change, things change. Take 10 minutes out of your day. If you don't take care of you, who will? Make those doctor's appointments. On
Right,
that
right.
note, warriors, and thank you, family, and my warrior friends for joining me tonight. Don't forget to join us next Tuesday here, same time, 6 o'clock. And hope you've had a good day and a better tomorrow. Love and peace to everybody out there.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey,
Thank you,
everybody.
AP.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, so everybody out there, I just want you to know, um, MS is a real disease. It's invisible. Um, you never know who has it. If you know someone that has it, man, share this channel with them. Maybe something on here will help them deal with it a little bit better. And also, maybe they have something that they've experienced that they can share with other people um, and help somebody, each one teach one. So, on that note, I want to let everybody know we got nothing but love for you. I'm AG the Dad. This is Shit Talking Sundays. Every day is Shit Talking Sundays. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and, you know, love yourself. All right. Peace.